Hello, welcome back. I'm Darren, and we are in Forza. We are running on the RTX 4080 with the 13700K, and we are at 1440p. So before we race, we will quick go through the graphic settings. So display 1440p. We are not running anything in the way of upscaling. And then graphics, everything is maxed. We have the render resolution scale at 100%. We'll get into a race and see how it goes. So basically we're just running the same as what we were on the AMD system. We'll go through pretty much same type of things. I'll try and stay on the track whilst looking at a metric, but effectively we'll just do a lap with these settings, let the kind of pack spread out a bit, so that we kind of get a more balanced performance, because obviously when you're around this many cars, performance does take a hit. Same in any racing game. It's like entering a town full of NPCs. It's just one of those things. God. I better not get a penalty for that, because that guy brake checked me. Shocking. Definitely some of the... I mean, look at them. What the hell is going on in this game? And bumper cars. So yeah, obviously native 1440p looks the same as what it did yesterday on the AMD system. I'm not particularly a fan, I'm not gonna lie. There's some games that look... Like, I was actually really impressed with Grey Zone Warfare yesterday at 1440p. That I thought that game actually looks very good. A lot better than what I thought it would be. I've not tried that game at 1440p, and I was actually really impressed. But this is definitely a game that I don't think looks good at 1440p, unfortunately. There's a lot of bad aliasing in it, but it looks like quite low res to me. So yeah, we will go through. I said we'll finish this lap off, and then when we get to one of the straights, we'll... I think this game has DLAA, if I remember. So we might try some DLAA before we go to try and DLSS quality. I'm not expecting DLSS quality to look good. I think it's working with what isn't, I don't think, a great image to start with, so I don't think it's got anywhere to really go with this. It might improve the aliasing a bit, but I would imagine it will look kind of like what FSR did yesterday, and it will just look even more low res. But we'll check it out anyway. I'm not sure what DLAA will do. Technically that should give us a bit of a performance hit, but it should maybe give us a slightly nicer image. We'll find out in a minute. Ooh. I'm not very good on controller, I do apologise. If you have to warm, do you have to warm tyres in this game? This thing is not sticking at all. Okay, so let's try We'll have a look and see if there's DLAA, which I believe that, yes, there is. So we'll give that a go. And see, hopefully this should make it better, but I will assume it will also give us a bit of a performance hit. So yeah, I'd say that looks better. I don't think it's going to look quite as good as... It makes no sense how you can be so slow in a corner yet be ahead of me. This game is shocking. So yeah, I think this is a better image. I'm not sure if it's as good as the 150% resolution scale. We will check that out, obviously, in a minute. We'll probably try on the next... See, it's like, you're so slow, there's no way that you can be ahead of me. It makes no sense. Unreal. And there's no indication of when there's a car alongside you. Ugh. I'm not a fan of this game. Yeah, we'll get to the straight and we'll check out DLSS quality. I don't think it's going to look very good, and I think the upscalers are kind of a bit broken in this game, as in I don't think they actually add any performance, so they're kind of pointless. Or if they do, it's so marginal it's almost pointless. Let's have a look. Quality, we'll go with that. It's given us... Nah. It's given us a horrible image. Yeah, I'm not. I didn't expect much, and I kind of got what I expected, I think. I mean, it maybe fixes the bad AA a little bit, not enough to warrant the... I'm just... Maybe not quite as bad as what FSR was yesterday, but certainly not great. I'm not keen, and the performance game to me is just make me not interested at all. So we will get round to... Oh my god, my driving is shocking. I need steering wheel. We'll get around to the next straight, and we will try the resolution scale at 150% like we did yesterday on the AMD system. And hopefully, like the AMD system was, that should be the best option. Because this right here isn't it, from what I'm concerned. That's going to give me a penalty, isn't it? It's so hard on controller. Fair play to people that race racing games on controller. I don't know how they do it. I suppose it's just practice, but yeah, steering wheel all the way for me. This will do. So let's go to... Yeah, hold on. Do we need to turn off? Yes, probably. So let's turn that off. Yes. And then let's go to 150%. Yes. And that is definitely the nicest that we have. Yeah, I'd say it's better than DLAA. Oh god, make the corner, please. That's terrible. Yeah, this is what I'd be. Exactly same as the AMD system. Similar performance, I think. I think there's much in between the two of them. It's kind of... It would be a hard game to really judge, because I think you could kind of run the next game and judging by where the other cars might be compared to you on the track, you could find a performance could be a little bit all over the place, and it's very all over the place in this game anyway. You know, 1 minute you're over 100, next minute you're at 80, so that's definitely the nicest image. That's definitely what I'd be racing at. Exactly the same as what I would have been on the AMD system. So certainly for me in this game at 1440p, if you've got the power to do it, crank everything up. Don't bother with upscaling at 1440p, whether you're on AMD or Nvidia, because it looks horrible. And yeah, crank the resolution scale to 150, and it runs smooth, and it looks a hell of a lot better. So there's nothing more to do here. We will move on to the next one. Hello, welcome back. I'm Darren, and we are in Cyberpunk. So, we are on the RTX 4080 with the 13700K. We are at 1440p. We are at everything high settings. We are running with no ray tracing and no upscalers. So we will quick go into the menu. We'll check out the settings. So obviously video, we're at 1440p. VSync and everything else is turned off. And then into graphics, obviously we've got no upscaling. Frame gen's turned off, ray tracing is turned off, and then obviously all this stuff's turned off like it was on the other one, and then everything else here is turned to its highest available whatever it is. So we will check that out. Like I said, I was actually quite impressed with this yesterday, as far as how good this game kind of... it looks pretty decent at 1440p. But obviously there is native... You have got some kind of funky aliasing going on. It's nothing horrendous, but it's not great at the same time. We'll run down here, check it out. It's not horrendous. Kind of those windows over there probably don't look great. As far as it goes, I don't think it looks too bad. So we will try some RT. We will go to... I need to do it on mouse because it's so horrible. So ray tracing, everything is now on. We'll leave upscaling off for the moment. We won't go with path tracing for the moment. We'll try that. Okay. So yeah, I think we're about. What were we? We were probably about. I think we were about 40 on the XTX yesterday. But the XTX has actually got a kind of a decent lead in raster. So with no RT, the XTX is actually like a good 10 whatever frames ahead, and then obviously it drops some as soon as we turn RT on. Now, at this point, I suppose what we'll try is, if we try some... what can we do? Let's go with some DLSS at quality. I don't think we'd really want to go to balanced at 1440p. We can try this, see how this looks, and what type of performance we're going to get from it. Okay, so I actually think that looks better than what it did at native. Like, that's now a really clean image. Let's go and have a look. So yeah, those all of that before, which you couldn't even really see. Those bars before, because of all the aliasing, you can now see. So let's have a look. I actually think that looks better than native. Let's have a look. Wrong button. Okay. Let's go back to. Oh, there's a DLA. We might have a look at that. Oh God, what am I doing? Can I turn this off? Where's off? Is there an off? I'm confused now. Oh, right. Okay. I see. So this is off. Yes. So apply that. And we'll get back. So, okay. Yeah. You can't really make out that there's like little bars in those. But with DLSS you can. So, let's have a look. That's interesting. I'm not very good at this. Right, where are we? Resolution scaling. Quality. Apply. Close. I think everything there looks sharper. And yeah, you can see all those little bars. So, yeah, that's interesting. I'd say, I'm surprised. At 1440p, I wouldn't have expected an upscaler to look better than native. But to me, I can now see more details than what I could with it off. So, I'll take it. So where are we at? We're at about 90. I think we can try a bit of path tracing. See if that'll work. Let's go. So we've got ray reconstruction. Where's path tracing? Yeah, here. On photo mode, that doesn't matter, does it? Creating single. No, we won't worry about that. Is that right? Path tracing's on. Everything else is. Everything else is on. Ray reconstruction is on. Quality. So the only thing we don't have at the moment is frame gen. Okay. Let's go with that. So what's that taking us down to? 60. Okay. So you can definitely tell the lighting is... It definitely becomes more realistic, the way you get this kind of diffusion. Hugely taxing, but impressive at the same time. So let's go to, because we are within the window of frame gen. Let's crank that on. Everything stays the same, doesn't it? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So where are we now? Just over 100. So I think you can kind of... We've definitely got a... Probably from the frame gen. Not as good as what it was. So... Oh, I suppose you got a trade-off there. Let's have... In fact, let's have a look. Let's turn off... Let's turn off path tracing. Oh, God, if I can get into the right menu. Okay. Settings. If we turn off... Oh, hold on. Let's just turn off frame gen. And come out. I don't know if that was down to path... Unless it was ray reconstruction. I don't know. Those looked a bit more... Or was it just because I was stood in a different place? Or maybe it's just because the lighting's changed. Who knows? There's a lot going on. Let's turn off path tracing just to check if we can get into the right menu. Path tracing off. That knocks off ray reconstruction, does it? Yes. Everything else is the same. Apply. Close. Close. So yeah, those are definitely something to do with path tracing. That those railings kind of don't stay as sharp. It might just be something to do with the lighting. So if we stay at regular RT, don't go as far as path tracing, and then go frame gen. Close, close. So what's that take us to? 130. I guess, well, put it this way. I mean, 130 in this game's crazy. I suppose it's down to the trade-off of, do you want to stick with RT at overdrive, or do you really want to push it to path tracing? I mean, I play at 4K. I have played it with path tracing. I can do it at like DLSS balanced-ish if I'm happy to drop below 60. Or if not, I'd have to go performance, which on a 27-inch 4K screen isn't that bad. Yeah. Calm down, dickhead. So... we've turned into night now, haven't we? So things are going to change a little bit, but that's fine. Like I said, we're not doing benchmarks. We're doing more of a what can we do with these systems. So let's go back to path. There we frame gen on. Where's path tracing? There it is. Turn that on. Rear reconstructions on. Let's have a look. Because I mean, we're still into like 100 FPS. You can definitely, well, I can. Like the glow that you get is kind of crazy. Definitely softens the image a bit. So let's have a quick look. I'm not sure if I'd want to sharpen it, but we can. I think we've got a little bit of. I take it that 90%. Is it 90? That seems like really strong, but. Yeah, hold on. Why does that go to 1? Oh, okay, sorry. It's 0 point. So what's it like at 1? Sometimes a bit of sharpening can make up for using frame gen. Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much. Let's have a look. So let's take that down. What was it? 90? It was 95 then, or 0.95 should I say? Yeah, okay. That's better. I think that's just down to personal, whoever is playing the game. You've got a lot of options here, put it that way. You can either roll with the full-on path tracing. Do we have to use frame gen? I think we do. No, or no, we don't, do we? It's going to take us down to around 60, will it? Let's have a look. So, settings. We turn frame gen off. Apply. So, we've still got path tracing. Yes. Let's have a look at that. So, where are we down to? 60, which is fine. You can play this game at 60, no problem. So, I mean, realistically, you have every option that you want it, really. As long as you stick to... Ooh, that was close. If you stick to DLSS quality, which looks really good, you have then the opportunity to go with pretty much whatever level of RT you're willing to go. And then you can either bump frame gen on top if you're happy to, or you can leave it off. But those reflections are insane. To be fair, you have to appreciate like this reflection. I know it's only small details, but yeah. And at 4K, it does look even more impressive. So, yeah. I mean, realistically, I don't think there's any more that I need to go on in this, because I assume that this video is dragged on for quite a long time. I mean, remember, we are doing a screen capture, so you can bump on another probably anywhere between 4 to probably about between 4 or 8 FPS I will be losing from doing the screen capture. So it's a bit awkward when you're kind of around that 60 FPS mark and you're running a screen capture, because you're going to look like you're below. Like, see, we just dropped down to 59. Now, if I wasn't running the internal screen capture, that wouldn't be happening. So yeah, 1440p using DLSS quality, which looks very good. You can do whatever it is that you want. Yeah. To be fair, I know people don't. I don't know. I don't know if it's a case of people don't like ray tracing, or they just the performance hit annoys them, so they say they don't like ray tracing. But I mean, it looks pretty awesome, right? Well, certainly the reflections do. Like when you see kind of the glow that you get, I don't know. I think it's pretty impressive. But I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, so each to their own is how we'll go. And yeah, I don't think there's any further for me to go, really. I think we've checked out everything there is to check out. So I'm going to end it there, and I will catch you in the next one. Hello. Welcome back. We are running PAX Day again. We are at 1440p, so we are in the 1440p with the RTX 4080 and the 13700K. And I'm just going to collect a few things, run back down to my house, and then whilst we're down there we will go through the settings, because we aren't running the same, but we'll go over to the same settings that we were using on the AMD system, because yeah, it's a bit of an awkward one. In fact, we won't go over to the settings that we're using on the AMD system because I have to do a game reset for FSR, and I don't think there's any reason for us to really do that. So I might be able to get killed by a bear or something. Who knows? So yes, we will run down in a sec. We will go through our settings when I get down to my pad. I came up here to get rock. I don't think I really picked up much in the way of rock. But at the moment we are running, we are at 1440p, but we are running with DLSS at quality. And we are using FrameGen because we have FrameGen available on the Nvidia GPU. And it seems to work fine. I don't notice any difference in image quality. Now this game is capped at 100, it has to be capped at 120 FPS, so obviously it's taking us over the 120. Die. Yeah, it's taken us over the 120, and as you can see, all that's doing now is just kind of reducing GPU usage. So it's at kind of 79, 76, which is fine. It seems to run okay like that, and it's dropping our temps, dropping everything. As you can see, game looks 1440p. I'm not going to say it looks amazing because I'm not a great fan of 1440p, but there we go. So if we go to, I kind of messed around. This game doesn't really like you going for a bunch of settings. It kind of wants you to reset after that, so the performance does, you do notice it starts to kind of stutter a little bit after you've messed around. And then once you've been playing it for a couple of minutes, it then seems to kind of figure itself out. But so there are a few strange things going on, but this is an early access game, so I'm not going to get too carried away. I can go to TSR, and I can go to native AA. And that takes us down to kind of Let's let it do its thing. It takes it down to kind of high 90s. See it go over 100 every now and then, depending on where you are in the map and what's going on. And it's kind of the opposite of what was going on the AMD system. Now, on the AMD system, you had some kind of really bad flickering. Now, to me, this has just got... It doesn't have that flickering. It's very aliasing, especially around his face and beard. But it has really bad ghosting. You kind of notice it in the plants and stuff. So, not great. And the next setting, which appears to be broken. So I did try it with FSR. You do get a bit more performance with FSR. Now, the AMD system was running more between... I think it was running more between 100 and 120. Whereas this is kind of... With FSR, I was kind of more between 100 and 110. So there is a little bit of extra performance with FSR over TSR by probably about 4 or 5 FPS, but FSR has quite bad aliasing as well. So the best I've found so far is there's a DLSS that you can have turned off. So there's nothing written in as DLAA. I don't know if this is supposed to be DLAA because it tanks the performance. It does give an extremely clean image, but it also causes some kind of crazy flickering, and then I don't know if we're going to see it this time. Every now and then you get kind of a gust of wind, and it causes almost like what was happening on the AMD system yesterday. Some like really bad shimmering. I did reset the game after I changed it to this, and then changed it back on just to see if it was a setting that really wanted to be reset by the game. It doesn't seem to have come back again this time. So, yeah, okay. You can kind of see it down by my house. Crazy, yeah. So you can see it doing it quite bad now by the house, and then at the top of the screen also. So kind of in line with my character, there's nothing, but the top of the screen really bad. I don't know what the hell is causing that, but it's really weird. So I've been running at... I'm not quite sure why it's got that bad performance either. Obviously, it's kind of the FSR at native AA is about 105, 110. TSR is about, say high 90s to 105. And this is down in like the 70s. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So yeah, I've been running at quality. And that seems to get rid of all of that. And it gives a nicer picture. So it's almost like this picture looks better than what should be DLAA, because obviously I'm getting extra performance with this, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. It's all a little bit confusing, really. But yeah, as you can see, kind of character's face looks a lot more stable. His hair looks more stable. This seems to be, certainly on this, the best kind of image. The trees are, in the background are relatively stable. So I think all of that's quite stable. The foliage up there is quite stable. So I don't really know. But it is early access, so what do you say? And then, to be fair, I tried FrameGen on, and it looked the same. So I kind of thought, well, you know what, I'll just run with that because it looks just as good. Why not? I suppose the only thing, you can probably notice a bit of ghosting in the flying objects maybe, but to be fair, you don't really notice those in game, and there's no ghosting in the plants like I was getting with TSR. See, that's a far cleaner, sharper and stable image than what TSR was. So I'm not actually sure how good TSR is. Some games it kind of seems okay, but you would expect TSR native to be better than DLSS quality with FrameGen, and it's just not the case. See, now those objects don't seem to be ghosting. I don't know if it's just the ones that are in front of something to do with them being around the trees. I don't know. But I can't say it's something that I've been particularly noticing in game while I've been playing. So, yeah. There's no point me dragging this video on for any longer than it needs to be, but this is how I've been playing. If I was to play probably either of those games on a 1440p monitor on either system, I'll be honest, I'd probably either DSR or VSR it at 4K and then use a bit of upscaling, which I think would even give a better image. And you'd probably, I'd imagine on this you could probably DSR it at 4K, super sample it back to 1440p, use the same settings I'm using now, and you'd probably still be at the 120 cap. I'm pretty confident. So that's effectively what I'll do, what I would do. I won't do that now. If someone watches this video and asks me to try it because they're interested, then I can do that. But yeah, so there we go. This is basically PAX Day running on the RTX 4080 with a 13700K, and this is the settings that I'd be running it at. I think it looks good and it runs good, so yeah, I'm gonna leave it there and we'll move to the next one.